Hi dear students, today we are discussing previous year question papers for the Karnataka CET examinations. So already we have discussed from other subject, physics is also going on, same way maths is also going on. Now today we have selected the first topic, this is matrices and determinant. So we will take very important questions which are repeatedly occurred in the Karnataka CET as well as which are important for our upcoming examination. And also this chapter carries a very good marks for your Karnataka CET. There carries from 3 to 6 questions for Karnataka CET. So you need to prepare for this very easily also. We have selected this topic. Now let us go with the first question, which is, look at this. The question is very simple. What they have given, if A is a matrix which is alpha to 2 alpha and determinant of A cube is given for us, then they are interested in what is alpha. So look at this here, when they have given determinant of A cube is 125 and also you have A here, using this you can find only determinant of A. So what I do here, using this I find first what is determinant of A. Determinant of A cube is 125 and determinant of A becomes, here it is 5 because 5's cube is 125. Now look at this, using this data I can easily find what is determinant of A. See, this is alpha into alpha, alpha square, and this is 2 into 2, 2 square. So you can say alpha square minus 4 is equal to 5 and hence you get alpha square value is 9, therefore alpha value is equal to plus or minus 3. So this is our answer. Now the option C is correct for this question. So next question is very easy and there are 2-3 methods are there to solve these kind of questions. The first one, the general method is solve this determinant and after that find the derivative of this with respect to x. Later on find this determinant and just compare the answer is there or not. This is how you can do. But today what I am doing, it's other shortcut method I am using. So you look at this. What we do here, generally whenever you are differentiating a determinant, I'll just show here the rule of determinant. Suppose you have a delta like this, f, g, h, something, again f1, g1, h1, f2, g2, h2, and one more is f3, g3, h3. Suppose you have a determinant of order 3 cross 3, the rule of determinant for the differentiation, what it tells us is, you find the derivative of this. First, you take the determinant and differentiate only the first row, that is f1 dash, g1 dash, h1 dash. Don't change in the second and third row, f2, g2, h2, and next f3, g3, h3 as it is, plus after that first and third row keep as it is, only differentiate the second row. So f1, g1, h1, differentiate f2g, g2 2, and you can say dash also, h2 dash. This is f3, g3, h3. So here I kept first and third row as it is, but only I have differentiated the second, plus finally write first, second as it is, f1, g1, h1, f2, g2, h2, and then differentiate last row, f3 dash, g3 dash, h3 dash. This is how you can find the derivative of any determinant, correct? Now let us proceed and apply this rule for here. What exactly you get here is dA by dx is equal to, first row I am going to differentiate, which is 1, 0, 0, and the next remaining terms no change, 1x1, 1x, plus second you take the determinant, no change in the first row, x11, but you are differentiating only the second row, which is 0, 1, 0, and third row no change, 1, 1x. So then finally you have one more, that is, you can take First row, second row, no change. Only third row changes. X, 1, 1. 1x1 and this is 0 0 1. So you are expanded this by the rule of determinant differentiation. Now what we have to do here is simply you must have an idea when you are expanding any determinant along the first row, along the second row or along the any column, you must be aware of how we expand the determinants. See, if you are expanding this determinant along the first row, what you need to do is the first row elements are multiplied with all the expanded smaller determinants. So look at these two are 0 here, hence only the multiplied with 1, the rest of that minor you are getting. So that minor is here x1 1x. How? Because the complete this column, complete this row will be eliminated and you get x1 1x. Plus similarly here if I expand along the second row, similar way the second column, second row vanish, the remaining minor is x1 1x. Plus the third one, if you expand along the third column, then obviously the third row and third column vanish, the remaining minor is x1 1x. So now the comparison is so easy for us. Look at our b is exactly like x1 1x. So I can say here it is, this is b, this is b and this is b, this is all equal to 3b. This is how we can get the answer for this, and our answer is 3b. I hope you enjoyed this method. This is one new trick. It is here most of the students will try to expand the determinant and try to find the values, but here shortcut way how to eliminate the rows and columns. It's also called by elimination of rows and columns. Okay, so remember this method, it is a differentiation of determinant. Yes, now I proceed for the next question. So next question, it's a very simple. If the determinant of the adjoint of a matrix of order 3 is 25. So you have to remember that what is order, because most of the formulae which comes in the determinant, they all depends on the order of a matrix or order of the determinant. Order plays a very important role. That's the reason you need to take care of order. And then they are asking for us, what is the inverse determinant of the inverse of the matrix? They are asking. Look at this. What they are given for us is the determinant of adjoint of the matrix. They are given determinant of adjoint of the matrix, which is given for us is 25. More precisely, you must be remember that it is order of 3 cross 3. So adjoint of A is 3 cross 3, which is 25. It clearly tells us that, first you remember the formula, determinant of adjoint of A, which is always determinant of A raised to n minus 1, where the order is n, where order is n. Look at this, our order is 3 here. Obviously I can say here it is determinant of A ka square. What does it mean? This is very clearly you can say that determinant of A ka value becomes plus or minus 5. After that, what is next? They are interested what is the determinant of inverse of the matrix. What is determinant of inverse of the matrix? Determinant of A inverse, which is same as determinant of A raised to minus 1, which is same as 1 by determinant of A, and this is same as plus or minus 1 over 5, and this is same as plus or minus 0.2. So this is what our answer D here. Yes, I hope you understood this. But very interesting thing is that you must be remember this formula, otherwise it will be a difficult. Okay, so determinant of adjoint of A is always determinant of A raised to n minus 1. If you remember this, then rest of the part is very simple. And here also this property is very important for us. Inverse of any determinant is always determinant A raised to minus 1, and that is always reciprocal of the determinant. This is also you have to remember. Okay, two properties we are using here and both are very important. Yes, okay, we go for the next question. Now next question is, look at this. If the matrix is this one, which is equal to A plus B, where A is a symmetric and B is a skew symmetric. They are saying that A is a symmetric, B is a skew symmetric. Then what is the B value? So where the students used to do the mistake, look at this. Suppose you have a matrix C. If any C matrix can be expressed as a symmetric and skew symmetric is C plus C dash over 2, this is always a symmetric, and C minus C dash by 2, which is always skew symmetric. Why I have written this? Because so many times what you will do the mistake is simply you will find C minus C dash, but remember that divided by 2 has to be written because of the reason you are expressing the given matrix in terms of the skew symmetric, correct? Yes. So now if I say this is C, which is 2, 3 and 5 minus 1, then what will be C dash, which is again 2, 3, 5 minus 1. Simply write row into columns, correct? What exactly C minus C dash? C minus C dash becomes, take difference of these two. 2 minus 2, 0, 3 minus 5 is minus 2, 5 minus 3 is 2, minus 1, minus of minus plus 1 is 0. So this is C minus C dash, but it's not exactly B, it is. You are interested in B, so therefore B value is equal to 1 by 2 C minus C dash. What is this? Divide all these by 2. So you get 0, minus 1, 1, 0. So this is what our answer for this question. Yes, the option D is correct here. Look at this one. It's a very interesting problem. Most of the time it looks easy, but you will do the mistake by dividing 2 here, because already the option C is given, B is given for us, which is 0 minus 2, 2, 0, which is not correct moreover. Okay. Yes, we go for the next problem. Yeah. This is a straightforward question, and you know the property is the most popular property, which is A into adjoint of A equal to determinant of A into I. Still you can write adjoint of A into A is also the same. But now look at this, what they are interested here, what's the determinant of adjoint of A, correct? We have already the relation determinant of adjoint of A is always equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 1, correct? So now what I am doing here is using the given data, that is A into adjoint of A equal to 10 times of I. So this is equal to 10 times of I. Clearly you can say that determinant of A is equal to 10, correct? This is how you can write determinant of A. And the next thing is that you want, what is this one? Yes, adjoint of determinant of adjoint of A, this is always determinant of A raised to n minus 1, correct? N minus 1, I don't repeat here, directly I go with the order, one number less you have to take here, correct? What is that determinant of A? Which is equal to 10 cos square, this is nothing but 100. So determinant of adjoint of A value is 100 here, so our answer is C. This is how we can find the answer for this. Remember, in the determinant and matrices, most of the formulae, they are somewhere else very closer and nearer formulae. Most of the time you get confused. A into adjoint of A, determinant of A, determinant of A raised to n, determinant of A raised to n minus 1. Several small changes are there, but you have to write the formulae together and compare them, then remember. Otherwise you will get confused regarding the formulae. Yes. Next one. The next problem, this is x plus 2. X plus 3, I will skip this and I will go for the next problem. Later on I will come back. So here the value of one matrix is determinant is given, and expansion of this determinant will be one of this value. See here, 1 log y to the base x. What we can do here, in such a kind directly you can expand, or else you can write this one as log x to the base x. This is log y to the base y, log z to the base z, and later on add and expand. Or else you have directly expansion method, you can expand directly. See here directly how to expand this. This if I say delta equal to 1 in the bracket. Now this is 1 into 1 is 1 minus this, you can write log z to the base y into log y to the base z. This is first one, minus log of y to the base x in the bracket. This is I am taking this into this minus this into this. What is this? Which is log x to the base y minus log, here I can say it is log x to the base y into log x to the base z into log of z to the base y, plus the next one, this last, which is log of I will take once again this z to the base x in the bracket, this into this minus this into this. What about this? It is nothing but log x to the base y into log y to the base z minus this is log z log x to the base z. So this is how we can write the expansion of this one. Now the very interesting thing is here is simply you look at this 1 minus. Now using the property you can say here it is, this is log z and to the base is z, or else using the properties of the logarithm you can say 1 I will expand, later on proceed as it is. This can be written as log z by log y into this is log y divided by log z. This is called change of base property in the logarithm. So here it is log y, you can cancel log y, log z, you get 1. So this is all nothing but 1, it is 1 minus 1. So minus, here this is log of y to the base x in the bracket, once again it is log x to the base y minus, I hope if you understand this property, see here it is z, here it is z, these two vanish, combining these two logs you get log x to the base y minus log x to the base y. If you are getting confused regarding this one, what you can do is change of base, log x divided by log z divided by log y, log z vanish, and log x by log y is log x to the base y. You can write like this, plus log of z to the base x in the bracket, still here y vanish, you say it is log x to the base z minus log x to the base z. Now very interesting thing is here it is, this is 1 minus 1 is 0, here these two terms are similar, so they vanish, it is a 0, 0 into this number is 0, here these two are similar, this is 0, 0 into this number is 0. So the final answer you get for this is 0. So very easiest question, but sometimes you feel that because of the bases are different, it may looks a tedious one. No any such an ambiguity in such kind of problems. Please, there are several methods are there. See the problem inner side of that, easily you can understand. Yes. So I go for the next one. Next problem is a very straightforward question. Once it was asked, look at this. Directly you can find the determinant. This into this minus this into this. What about this? It is nothing but cos 75 into cos 15 minus sin 75 into sin 15. So this is all nothing but cos A cos B minus sin A sin B form. So directly you can say cos of 75 plus 15, which is cos of 90, and this answer gives you 0. So the answer for this question is 0. It is D option for us. So these kind of questions sometimes will get as a bonus because it will not consume any time. Straightforward without calculation also you can imagine this into this minus this into gives you cos A plus B only directly. So that kind you should not waste the time and you just go for the next questions. Such kind of problems will save the time of yours. Yes. The next question is, look at this again, it's a straightforward question by using the property. If A is any square matrix of order 3 cross 3, then they are interested in what is the determinant of 3 times of A. Here you must be remember that or aware of, there is one of the important property, determinant of k times of A is equal to, it is k raised to n into determinant of A, where n is order, of the matrix or order of the determinant. So using this property, aram se you can write it as 3 times of A is equal to 3 raised to, what the order is given for us? It's a 3. So it's 3 determinant of A, which is equal to 27 times of determinant of A. So you get the correct answer here, it is C. Yes. So that's why what I am telling is most of the time you remember the results. Here it is k raised to n, but in the case of adjoint of the determinant of A, it was n minus 1. Yes. I hope you enjoyed these type of questions. We'll do again in the next time one more important video. So thank you all that.